Hello, everybody. Happy Friday and welcome to Release with Ease. I am your host, Edith Bikis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV. And today's episode is all about family matters. I believe this is one of the most important thing but people want to solve. Their struggles, their discomfort, their situations in the family, because that's their living space. That's where they want to feel good and comfortable. So this episode is going to be all about that. I'm going to explain some struggles around it, point out some of the experiences with it, and of course bring some solutions also to this burning issue. And we are going to do also a meditation at past. And that's how we're gonna later close our episode. If you've been here before, then you know that we go really deep with our meditations and we always bring powerful solutions for your issue. And we also did a very powerful healing session in one of the episodes. So I highly recommend you to check out the other episodes as well. If you are new here, then welcome. And I will also explain you more about the meditation later, which kind of meditation we do, and then why is it so powerful. So let's talk about family matters. If you think about it, in a family, there's a hierarchy, right? So there are the parents or even grandparents in a one household we're talking about, and then also the children there. So what matters can come up most of the time. It's most of the time what my clients struggling with is the relationship with their children. Even when the children are growing up, or even I would say there is more situation when they are already grown up. So when they are kids, they are in the household, it's just basically more about how to control them or how to be able to have a peaceful relationship with those children, and then being a person there for them, who's supporting them, who love them, who's showing everything what they need to learn and all of those things. So basically that's what is like when the people get involved with their children, sometimes they lose themselves. So the struggle could be there for the parents when they have younger children, that they actually lose themselves in the process because they give so much, they give their time, they give their presence, that they don't have time for self-love, for self-treatment, self-care, even to do a meditation, because maybe they also have, a job where they need to be going. And then, so it's just feels like really overwhelming. That's where I was like many years ago. I would say like 10-15 years ago, that was one in my life that I had a job, I had my little children, and then I just had no time for myself. And then I was struggling. I felt many times physically sick as well, because that the emotional imbalances and the emotional pressure and the emotional negative emotions, this actually, if it's piling up because of the triggers which hitting you, it's manifesting into physical illness eventually. So that's what happened to me as well. And then I know about other parents who's getting exhausted, always falling into flu or cold syndromes. And they say like, oh, the children brought it from the school, or the children brought it from the kindergarten, although it's a sign that you are exhausted, and it's a sign that you need some time off. And in the old times, the household was many generations. So while the parents were maybe busy doing things, then the grandparents were able to take care of the kids, or when the parents needed some time off, then again the grandparents could come in. So this was a more peaceful dynamic, and more dynamic when everybody had their own time as well for themselves. And now in a small family dynamic, when it's only the parents and the kids most of the time in one space, then it's everything is on the parents, and then it's just like exhaust them, right? So this could be an issue, and then I will talk about the solutions later. So this is one dynamic. The other dynamic, when they are a grown up and then they lost communication with the parents for some reason, because as they growing up, they got also their own traumatic experiences, and then they get triggered, and might they feel like there is certain things why they can't agree with their parents anymore, or there are disagreements there, and then they decide, okay, I want to detach, I want to disconnect, because it's not a healthy relationship for me as an adult child, basically having still the control of my parents, so on and so forth. So this is sometimes a very big issue, already starting with the teenage years, when they want to go free, they trying out all kinds of substances, which is not good, of course, not healthy, and then they just getting into bad communities or bad situations, and then you as a parent, you want to basically save them, you want to help them, but it's really sometimes backfire with the thing like, oh, you are too controlling, you don't allow me to do this and that. So this is really difficult, because then what happens is that as the child grows as an adult into an adult, then it's like remembering that, oh, I don't like that my parents are controlling, so I'm just going to detach, and then there is hardly any communication, and the parents, of course, suffering because they want to know about their children, they want to be present with their grandchildren, so on and so forth, and it's not always happening, and they also feel guilt and shame about it, like, what did I do wrong, or was I not enough strong enough, or controlling enough, I was maybe allowed them to do things which they shouldn't. So it's like a lot of guilt there, which needs to be healed, obviously, because it also becomes manifesting into other illnesses such as heart disease, cancer, or other things, right? So all of these trauma healings are basically a prevention to also to have diseases, because the emotional issues, as they're piling up, they manifest physical illness, as I said before. So this could be another issue. The other things which is happening in the family is the abuse, right? There are many families which is suffering from physical abuse. Most of the PTSD issues, like when clients coming to me and they say, oh, I am suffering from PTSD, is most of the time is because they were abused in the family. So it wasn't like an outside. Sometimes it happened that they were attacked outside, and that's why they had PTSD. But the majority of the time is in the family they were abused, either physically, verbally, mentally, or sexually, whatever it is. And it's like, how to cope with that when you are a grown up, and then you're looking back, and then you start to have those flashbacks, and then you experiencing those memories, and then you still have connection with those people. They are your parents, or they are a brother or sister. They are still in your bigger family. Even if you are a grown up, you still have communication with those people, and you meet them sometimes the daily basis. And as it is getting stronger and stronger, the PTSD memories, as they resurface, they can be stronger and stronger, to the point that you feel really triggered, you feel really anxious and nervous, and you can't deal with those situations anymore, and you feel like you want to hide, you want to set boundaries, bigger and bigger boundaries. And as you trying to like hide or going into hermit phase, basically you're losing out lots of opportunities to be with the family, to enjoy time together, to actually live your life happily, right? Because you are consumed by all of those anxiety and stress, and then those flashbacks. It's also, I guess it's also going into your sleep, so you have sleepless nights, and then what happens with sleepless nights, next day you are more anxious, more nervous, because you are having sleep deficiency, basically, which is affecting your work. So it's going into everything. So in this case, what I do with my clients, again, we going deep and releasing the memories, we heal the memories from the core. And this several times is what always happens, that they not just them, the clients or the who was abused is experiencing the healing and finally feel relieved, but the people who abuse them or the other family members also go through a transformation through the healing, because they are connected in the family unconscious level. So when I work with my clients, they see the ripple effect, and they see results in the communication, in also how much time they spend together, how they actually behave, and even they sometimes experiencing forgiveness from those people. So it's different for everyone, but what is the same is like they see that it's not just them who's changing and feeling more in peace and harmony, but the other person as well, even though they didn't do the healing themselves, right? So I always say that when you take the responsibility of your own healing in a family, then you actually start healing your whole soul family. What is it like soul family? It means not just the people who are still alive, but also the ones who passed away. And why you need to heal them? You would say like, oh, they should be happy up there, right? But the situation is turned out so many times that even though they died, they don't have physical pain. So that's the liberation for them. Basically, that's the relief for them, that, oh, they don't experience physical pain anymore, because maybe they were in a lot of physical pain before they passed away. But when they passed away, they still have their traumas, they still have their emotional situations going on in their spirits, they still take it with themselves. And what's happening is that it's you inherit those situations, you inherit whatever they went through, and it's coming down in the lineage. And then you can be the one who's stopping those cycles, you can be the one who's actually the karmic or the trauma cycles to stop those, and you're not allowing it to go further in your lineage, basically to your children, right? And to your grandchildren, right? So it's really important to understand that it's a big thing to start your healing journey. It's really a huge thing, because it's not just about you, it's about your whole soul family and your lineage, basically. And that's what you can do through source memory healing, which is a very powerful healing technique when we go and we actually ask the unconscious mind to bring the memories which needs to be released, and then going through all of those memories one by one, and then that's finalizing that is actually stopping the triggers. What's happening is that because you are a multidimensional being, in this case, what's happening is affecting all your layers, every connections you had, basically in soul connections in DNA level, and is releasing it from all of these layers. And then what happens is changing your future completely. So it's like not saying it's like never happened, but it's like reframe the past, so then your future outcome is different. Because if you learn the lesson, let's say learn the lesson, you let go of the situation because you forgive, then basically you don't need to learn it again, so the trigger stops. There's not going to be trigger around the same situation, or you're not going to be another trial for you, right? Because so many people is saying that they are going into patterns, like in it's coming back to them in a pattern, the same situation. I had clients who, for example, were raped 3 times in different years, like between maybe 5-10 years difference, but it was like a similar pattern what was happening in her life. And then it was a similar situation, but somehow she couldn't get out of that pattern. It was insane. And then we did the session about it, we did the healing about it, so finally she can close these patterns and then learn from it and release it and let it go, and then smoothing out of her triggers and anxiety and all the PTSD syndromes, basically. So it's really to know that there is a solution. So there is a solution, there is a way how to heal this, and you don't need to suffer from this. You don't need to sit in your PTSD and then always experiencing anxiety and stress and being nervous if certain people are around you in your family and interacting with you. And because it's related to your ancestors, it's many times what you're experiencing is coming from there. It's from them, or it's initiated from them. They've done something which changed the behavior in them, and then it's actually was inherited to their children, to your parents, let's say, and they were taking the same actions, the same reactions towards the similar situations, because that's what they learned, that's what they heard, that's what they've seen, so it became their habit, their behavior, their belief. And that's how it goes from generation to generation as you're growing up, because it's planted in you, it's subconsciously planted in you as a habit, as a belief. And that's what how to react in certain situations. So you're taking on similar roles, you're taking on similar actions, you're taking on similar way of coping mechanism, and that's why you ending up in similar illnesses. Like when they say, oh, this disease is inherited, or this certain behavior or way of doing things is it can break, you can break the cycle. That's the thing, that if you have the awareness, if you have a conscious awareness about that, I want to break the cycle, then it's just about making a better decision, basically, and then you break the cycle if you make a different decision from your ancestors, from your parents, because you decide that's what is best for you. So we are going for a short break now, and after the break I'm going to talk more about family constellation therapies and how other situation can be healed in family matters, basically, and how to set boundaries in families and how to heal basically in these situations. So you are watching Release with Ease, and I am your host Edith Bekis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV, and see you after the break. Hello, welcome back to Release with Ease. I am your host, Edith Bekis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV. And we are talking about family matters today, because I believe this is one of the most important things which is bothering people, right? Because it's your home life, it's the people who's the closest to you, right? And this, so many times people feel so alone and lost, and just not knowing how to cope with this situation when they actually lose connection with their family members. And then they even feel like they've done nothing wrong. It's just the family turned against them, or their children turns against them. So it's really heavy on certain people. And that's what we are talking about today, like how to make sure that you reconnect with your family again, or how to deal with the situation if you are unable to reconnect with your family, but how to deal with this loss or this grief, basically, and how to step forward in life. And also like how to set boundaries with people if the case is not the loneliness, but basically being surrounded people who might manipulating you, controlling you, or just giving you a hard time, right? So let's talk about this. So I mentioned earlier the family constellation therapy. The family constellation therapy is, again, it's a concept which saying that as you heal your ancestors, your situation is going to shift and change as well, because of the pattern which came from the ancestors. So in family constellation therapy, it's a group therapy, basically, and then you bring up an issue which is happening in your life, in a relationship issue, basically, and you invoke these souls into the group of people, and then they experience the same emotions what those souls are experiencing, and going back in time basically need to bring them back to into a positive, a loving connection, the people who doesn't like them each other, or who doesn't have a peace with each other, even though they were married, or they were like a family connection. If they were like fighting, or they had some some issues, then it needs to be solved and needs to be forgive in that soul level, and that will come down as a ripple effect to your life. So this is also showing, this family constellation therapy is, it's also psychotherapists are using this, is developed more in this modern age as well for this, and then also coming from ancient times as well. So I love seeing that some of the methods are thousands of years old, but it's picked up again by modern psychology and used as well, although it's thousands of years old. So it's like we're coming back together with all of these solutions. So that's what I wanted to just tell you, that sometimes you think that your issue is with you or with your partner, but the truth is that it's inherited from far away, and then you need to solve it from the core to resolve it in your own life, because otherwise it's just really hard. It's just really a conscious and 100%, like all the time, 24/7 conscious work to watch every words you do, or every thoughts you have, or every action you take. And that would be really exhausting, because these things coming from your subconscious, and the subconscious is when you are in autopilot, and your body was actually created to save energy, because when you are in your conscious mind, you consume a lot of energy. Your brain is consuming lots of energy, because you're focusing And when your body feels safe and your body feels like, okay, no, I'm doing something which I always done, and then it's easy work for me, then it's switching into autopilot. And that's in the subconscious is where your habits are and your beliefs, right? And that's when it's coming in this ancient, your ancestral trauma and karma as well. So then, to make sure that you reprogram it, you reframe it, it has to go back to the ancestor. So that's the family constellation therapy, which I highly recommend to do in a physical situation, not online. So if you have somebody in your area who's doing it, it's really great to visit and do it with them. And the other thing which I wanted to mention, let's talk about boundaries. So if you are a parent who's dealing with smaller kids and then you feel like exhausted all the time and always sick and then just can't do it anymore, you really need to look for help. You really need to look for people who can support you. And I don't think that if you really look, then you can't find someone, a neighbor, a family member, a friend, anybody. When you are in really feeling exhausted and really feeling like you need time out and then you need to take care of yourself, then you can find someone who's look after the kids for maybe 1 hour a day or 2 hours a week or something. But you need to find the balance that you can come back to yourself and then you can actually replenish yourself, you can feel better. Or just start doing the meditations once a day. It's a 15 minutes meditation. We are going to do it after the break. I'm going to show you how it is. This meditation is life changing because it's actually activating your pineal gland and you start producing the necessary hormones on a boost, which you normally produce in deep sleep. And someone who is suffering from PTSD or they are usually suffering from insomnia as well, so they don't really get into the deep sleep, so they're missing all of these very important hormones from their body. And then it's giving you an extra boost of oxytocin, growth hormone, serotonin, melatonin, which is helping you a lot to be more focused, to have a much better sleep, also a better mood, being more loving and kind, with your environment when you are triggered, and also to have a more vital body because of the growth hormone. So this meditation is really powerful. It's not just like any other meditation. This is a Adi Yogi Shiva technique, 60,000 years old. So it's very powerful and it really helps you to find peace and balance even in a very short period of time. If you do it in a 15 minutes, basically that's when it brings you into that state when you feel really in peace, but you can stay in that state as long as you can. Basically, if you have the opportunity to stay there for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's better. Or overnight, if you do this meditation before sleep, you can stay in that state overnight basically. And it's very healing for your whole body because you connect yourself with the energy of the universe. When you're vibrating in that energy, you connect with the universe. So your body is basically in a state when it's doing the self-healing process. So it's really highly recommended. So if you are someone who's suffering, not having enough time, and then want to have peace, and then this meditation is for you. And if you are someone who wants to reconnect with other people in your family, or you want to find peace, I highly recommend you to write on a list, and then in that list write on the people who you feel like betrayed you, who feel like they done wrong, and then also write on a list when you feel like you are guilty about or you are ashamed about what happened. And when you're looking at that list, the thing is here is to forgive. I know many people who got betrayed or hurt. It's really like they say, oh, how can I forgive because I'm so hurt, and then I won't able to forgive. That's when the source memory healing comes in. So when we do the samadhi meditation and source memory healing together, then it allow you to and help you to forgive to these people on a much deeper level. But if you can do it on a conscious level, it's already one step further for you. So I highly recommend you to try it first in that way, obviously. And then if you feel like you need more help, then just reach out and then we can do a source memory healing. So this is the part when what is happening with the source memory healing. As you start healing yourself and then your connections on a deeper unconscious level, as a ripple effect is going to affect them, and they're gonna start thinking, behaving differently with you. It happens so many times with my clients that actually they gonna start reaching out, they gonna start having better conversations with you, and somehow it's gonna unfold on a much more pleasant way in your life. So you're not going to suffer staying alone, not having connection with the loved ones who you want to have connection with. Is going to be resolved as you start healing, as you start forgiving to yourself and to others in the situation. And you're just gonna see that naturally those people is gonna be much softer towards you, and then they're gonna more appreciate you, and then moving towards you on a faster space basically, and then you can reconnect with them. So it's why is it happening? Why is this ripple effect possible? Because, as I said, we are connected on an unconscious level, on a family unconscious level. And many people think that we are only in this physical body, and then this is what we are. But we have many layers, like an onion, right? And then in these many layers, you have the connection with your partners, with your ancestors, with the other realities, your past lives, your future life, your parallel reality. So there's so many things in the equation. That's why it's also possible to heal your inner child, because that's one of your layer in the past. So you can actually reach that and then heal it. It's the same thing. So when you do all of those layers, healing all of those layers, then it's affecting the unconscious of the family. And then because they are the part of that, they're gonna be affected, and they're gonna feel it, and they're gonna come back to you, and they're gonna actually have a better relationship with you. What is also important, that while you are kind of waiting, or while you are thinking like what's gonna happen, when it's gonna happen, to not focus on that, but focus on yourself, focus on feeling good. Is most important, is raising your vibration through joy, raising your vibration through doing things what you love, things which is even cost nothing, like just singing, dancing, doing your things which is make excitement for you, and then maybe just walking in the park, or walking in the forest, or playing with your pets, or whatever brings you joy. Just do those things, and then just focus on that while you kind of waiting, because you need to raise your vibration to feel good, to attract good things in your life, in another hand as well. Because if you are always thinking like, oh, is it actually going to happen, if it's because your mind is so powerful, what you actually can imagine, visualize, and then believe in, it's more likely to happen if you are like talking yourself out of the situation. Because what happens is you programming your subconscious mind yourself. If you tell into yourself this connection is not going to happen, or I don't believe they're going to reconnect with me, guess what, even if they try to connect with you, your subconscious is going to somehow push them back through certain ways. Like maybe you accidentally block them, or maybe you talk back something to them which hurt them. So when you talk into your subconscious with negative situations, you predict or you assume negative situations, what happens is that is reflecting back into the reality. So be very careful with that, how you assume certain things. Assume always the best, and always feel and believe that the best is coming to you in all situations. And then the subconscious mind is going to look for solutions to get that best. Okay? Because you're programming yourself continuously with your thoughts. All right. So now we are going to have the meditation soon. Just quickly, I want to explain you. So we are going through the chakras. So if you don't know what are your chakras, they are the energy centers: the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the surda, and the crown. And then we also have the eighth chakra. We're going to activate those chakras, and then we are going to activate the pineal gland through the cerebellum in your back of your brain. So that's the process, how we're going to activate the pineal gland and get into transcendental state. And that's the state when is the self-healing and the hormonal production start, basically. All right. So after the break, we're coming back, we are going to do this meditation. You can do it laying down or sit up straight. If you are driving, please stop your car in a parking place, and you can do the meditation there. And just after that, come out, walk around, and then you can drive further. All right. So see you back in a minute after the break, and you are watching Release with Ease. I am your host, Edith Beekis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV. Welcome back, everybody, and we are continue with the meditation. You are watching Release with Ease, and I'm your host, Edith Bekis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV. So get ready for the meditation, sit up straight or lay down straight, and we are going to begin. Close your eyes, relax your body, breathe evenly. With every inhale, you inhale peace. With every exhale, you exhale toxins. Do this 4 to 5 times. Inhale peace, exhale toxins. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your arms. Breathe evenly. Bring the energy from Mother Earth to your root chakra, which is at the bottom of your trunk. Imagine that your root chakra is a flower bud, and the light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your root chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside, which was carried from lifetime to lifetime, bearing all your past memories, achievements, and failures. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise, with the speed of light, so you don't see the chakra anymore, only a circle. Bring the energy to your sacral chakra now, which is at the lower belly area. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your sacral chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Bring the energy to your solar plexus now, which is by your stomach. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your solar plexus, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Bring the energy to your heart chakra now, which is in the middle of your chest. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your heart chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Bring the energy to your throat chakra now, which is at your throat. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your throat chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Bring the energy to your third eye now, which is between your eyebrows. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your third eye, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Bring the energy to your crown chakra now, which is at the top of your head. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your crown chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. And you feel that through your crown chakra, you are connected to the divine, and through your root chakra to the Mother Earth. And between the two is the prana energy inside of you. Bring the energy to your 8th chakra now, which is 6 to 8 inches above your head, the chakra of your aura, soul star chakra. The light strikes the flower bud, opening up the lotus flower of your 8th chakra, cleaning all the petals. And the flower starts swirling with the part of your eternal soul molecule inside. Spin the chakra as fast as you can, clockwise. Now start to inhale from your root chakra towards your 8th chakra and exhale back to your root chakra by your spine. Inhale from your root chakra towards your 8th chakra and exhale back to your root chakra by your spine. Always focus on your 8th chakra. You will experience that your exhalation path is getting shorter and stops above your root chakra. This point is going to be your new inhalation point. And as you continue breathing, this point will move up on your spine and your breath is getting shorter and shorter until it stops for a while. Continue breathing towards your 8th chakra. Every noise besides my voice brings you deeper and deeper. Always focus on your 8th chakra. You can see that there is a ball of light on the 8th chakra. You can even rotate it around. Bring the light from this ball of light into your brain, into your body. See how it's dazzling like a sun ray. Now bring the column of light 4 to 5 times into your brain and accumulate it at the cerebellum at the back of your brain. You can lift up your chin so the light has a straight path through your crown chakra. Now bring the light continually from the cerebellum into your pineal gland, which is a P-shaped gland in the middle of your brain. Bring the light continually, and you will experience the unity with the divine. Bring all the light, and you become one with the Supreme Pure Consciousness. Always one, never separate. Allow yourself to go deeper and deeper. And now I'm going to say a forgiveness prayer, what you can repeat after me inside of your mind. Dear Supreme Pure Consciousness, please forgive me for my sins which I have done this lifetime and past lives. And please also forgive to my ancestors' sins, what they have done in this lifetime and past lives. And now feel that it's granted. And now you can bring your awareness back into your third eye, and you can open your eyes if you feel so. We are going on a short break, and we're coming back after that. You are watching Release with Ease, and I am your host, Edith Bekis. So welcome back everybody to Release with Ease. I am your host, Edith Bekis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV. I hope you really like this meditation and you're feeling much better now, probably in peace and harmony and refreshed, might a bit sleepy, so don't worry about that. When you practice it more often, you're gonna get more aligned with this transcendental state and you don't feel that much sleepy afterwards, but more like energized, like had an extra nap, right? So, this episode was about family matters and boundaries and healing family struggles, basically. I wanted to show you my book, which is called On the Healer's Journey. It's available on many platforms. And even it's called On the Healer's Journey, is a coaching book for seekers. And the thing is that I wrote this book back in the COVID time when everybody was like locked down and they had to actually experience struggles within the family, like how to set boundaries, how to keep my space, and then how to live in these dynamics. And it was really harsh on many people. And in this book, I give you even more advice about that, because some people feel like they are the black sheep of the family, although they are the one who's are in awareness about that. I need to heal, I need to be better, I need to change, I need to shift if I want to be happy. So basically, in this situation is, which is in the book, is again explaining that when you are the one who's recognizing this and you taking on the responsibility to heal yourself, basically, then it's going to have a ripple effect on your family. So it's just encouraging you to step into that role, step into that power you have, that with this awareness that you actually can make a big change, a big shift in your family. And I have an amazing news for you. If you would love to do more healings with me, meet with me on a weekly basis on a group coaching setting, then I have a school community, Might You Know School, SKOOL. They have several communities in school, and I also opened my communities exactly the same name as this show, Release with Ease. And with the members, we having the group coaching every week when I do some meditations, healings, manifestations, and other coaching Q&A. And we have this community where people can also, the members can also interact with each other, share their experiences, how they experience the healings or the meditations. There is a meditation library with very powerful ancestral healing and karma healing meditations. I also have a life transformation system course there, which is explaining you how is this multidimensional existence works, how you are affected with your mind, with your thoughts, your vibration, your ancestors. So it's giving you answers for all of these questions, basically what could be in your mind. And also there are some powerful workshops. If you do the gamification in the school, basically by liking each other's and commenting on each other's posts, then you can label up, and then these workshops are also opening up for you. And I have a very special bonus also in this group. So if you join the group, you actually have a 7 days free trial. So you can stay for a whole week trying out everything, meditations, the group coaching, all of these perks. And then the bonus is, as soon as you become a paid member, you can book a one-on-one source memory healing session with me. So it's a very powerful session, as I talked about it earlier. You can use it for trauma healing, PTSD, depression, any kind of struggles in your life, basically family matters. And this session is a bonus if you become a paid member of the school community, basically. And if you stay with us for 6 months, then you actually getting access to my elemental light healing, I light healer course, because I created an elemental light healer course, which is mostly energy healing. And then I also created the karma yoga facilitator training, which is for people to learn this technique, the source memory healing, and become a facilitator and use it with other people, basically, to get certified as a facilitator. So if you stay with us for a whole year, then you get access to that training as well. So this is all in the school community. I really love that platform. It's so easy to get around with the classroom, with the calendar, and also with the community aspects. It's really easy to handle it. So I hope to see you there soon, and we can start your healing journey, and you can finally feel peace and harmony in your life again. Because one of the biggest testimonial was from a lady. She's in her 60s, and after a source memory healing session, she said, "Oh, I never felt in this peace since I was 4 years old." So that's huge, right? many people is like going in these struggles and pain and PTSD for decades, for 20 years, 30 years, since their childhood. They carrying it with them for many, many years, and then they still already losing hope. They think like, okay, probably this is it. I just have to carry this for the rest of my life. And I am here to tell you that that's not the case. You have the cure for the PTSD. You know how to end it. Basically, with source memory healing is a very profound, very powerful way to end it. You can also look at the testimonials in the school page, how I help my clients, basically with all of them who had PTSD situations with abuse as a childhood. They went through abuse situations, and then now they finally feel again empowered and happy, and just feeling that they can start living their life again, without all of those negative thoughts which was like holding them back, because those things can actually bring down your self-esteem a lot, like your worthiness. And then when you have a low self-esteem and low worthiness, then you can't build upon that to create something great, to actually win in this game which we call life, right? And just go for your dreams and go from your goals. So many times when you feel stuck, many times when you feel like, oh, I'm not achieving, I'm not moving forward, is also because of certain situations happened to you in childhood or young adulthood, and you created these reactions towards triggers and reactions in situations because of those traumatic experiences, which sometimes not even traumatic. So sometimes they are very innocent experience, but they become trauma because you were reacting with negative emotions, and they got buried in the unconscious mind. So they are still there, and that's why you are attracting triggers in your life, basically. And through these triggers, what you are attracting, that's what is causing these reactions in you. When you feel anger, when you feel disappointed, when you feel sad, when you feel betrayed or hopeless, helpless, all of these negative emotions is coming as a reaction towards triggers, because there is something you need to heal, something deeper. And as soon as you heal that, these things going to stop. These things going to stop and disappear, and finally you're going to feel in peace and harmony with yourself. And the biggest thing is here to understand that you again heal not just yourself but your soul family, and you also prevent yourself from diseases, because as they piling up, they become diseases. Okay, so I'm here to tell you all of these things because I love you, and I want you to be happy, and I want you to be healthy. So hope to see you here next week. And you were watching Release with Ease, and I'm your host, Edith Bikis, and this show was brought to you by Bold Brave TV, and I'm wishing you a pleasant weekend. All right, take care, everybody. Bye bye.